Tricks for full marks in note making. Usually, note making is very difficult for students. Actually, it is not. Note making is such a topic where you can get 8 out of 8. And it is not difficult because the passage is already given in your question paper. And what you have to do for making notes, I will discuss in this video. Let's start. The first question is, what is noting or note making? Note making is extracting extremely important points from the passage that you have read. It could be a passage, it could be a book, it could be magazine, journal, anything. Okay, so when you are extracting important points, it will help you in recalling information later on. When you next time sit with the book, you don't have to read entire book or entire passage. When you read the notes that you have made, you will be able to recall the information which was provided by the passage. So uh, the main purpose of making notes is to retrieve the information from a longer and expanded text. Okay, now let's see the structure and marks distribution. First of all, you have to mention heading, then content, abbreviations, and summary. And marks distribution is already given, 4 plus 4. Now let's discuss some do's and don'ts of note making. See, note making is all about concising the text or main passage. Okay, you have to make it short, and for that you will take help of abbreviations and phrases, etc. Let's discuss point wise. First one is shorten or concise the text passage. Remember, if you are not shortening the lines, then there is no point in making notes. Okay, therefore the lines should be very short, and in maximum cases you have to use phrases only. That is how we have to shorten the line. Okay, number 2, use with proper indentations. Now see, based on their importance, you have to place the points. There is a distance from margin, okay, for the points section. Then for sub points, you have to give bit more space from the margin.
Let's move to number 3. No marks deduction for grammatical errors, and therefore you can skip connectors, you can skip verb, and that is why I told you that you can
Get full marks in note making because there is no negative marking in grammar error. Let's move to number 4. No full sentences allowed. This is very important. Put asterisk mark to this point number 4, that no full sentences allowed in note making. You have to take help of phrases or you have to use extremely short lines. Okay, number 5, use phrases, which I have already discussed. And what are phrases? A group of words. Next, number 6, don't forget to provide title. If you don't provide title, you will not get 1 mark which is allotted for title. Understood? Same goes with abbreviation as well. If you don't write abbreviations, you will lose 1 mark and you will be marked out of 3. So you can imagine out of 3 how much you will get. Okay, so it's very easy. Just give title, just give abbreviation, and then in the content you have to use at least 3 points along with sub points, and then you will be getting entire marks for note making. Now about the length of the note making. The note making should be 1/4 of the main passage.
Number 10. Use one line for the one point. You cannot mix 2-3 points in one point because it will become very lengthy, and you are not supposed to use 2 lines. You will wind up 1 point in one line itself. Let me tell you step by step how you are going to start with the note making. Example 1. Students, when you get the passage for note making, you have to read it, and while reading you have to underline important lines, important phrases, important words as well. The work of the heart can never be interrupted. The heart's job is to keep oxygen-rich blood flowing through the body. All the body's cells need a constant supply of oxygen, especially those in the brain. The brain cells live only 4 to 5 minutes after their oxygen is cut off, and then death comes to the entire body. The heart is a specialized muscle that serves as a pump. This pump is divided into 4 chambers connected by tiny doors called valves. The chambers work to keep blood flowing round the body in a circle. At the end of each circuit, veins carry the blood to the right atrium, the first of the four chambers. 2/5 oxygen by then is used up and it is on its way back to the lung to pick up a fresh supply and to give up the carbon dioxide it has accumulated. From the right atrium, the blood flows through the tricuspid valve into the second chamber, the right ventricle. The right ventricle contracts when it is filled, pushing the blood through the pulmonary artery, which leads to the lungs. In the lungs, the blood gives up its carbon dioxide and picks up fresh oxygen. Then it travels to the third chamber, the left atrium. When this chamber is filled, it forces the blood through the valve to the left ventricle. From here, it is pushed into a big blood vessel called the aorta and sent around the body by way of arteries. Heart disease can result from any damage to the heart muscles, the valves, or the pacemaker. If the muscle is damaged, the heart is unable to pump properly. If the valves are damaged, blood cannot flow normally and easily from one chamber to another. And if the pacemaker is defective, the contraction of the chambers will become uncoordinated. Until the 20th century, few doctors dared to touch the heart. In 1953, all this changed. After 20 years of work, Dr. John Gibbon in the USA had developed a machine that could take over temporarily from the heart and lungs. Blood could be routed through the machine, bypassing the heart so that surgeons could work inside it and see what they were doing. The era of open heart surgery had begun. In the operating theatre, it gives surgeons the chance to repair or replace a defective heart. Many patients have had plastic valves inserted in their hearts when their own were faulty. Many people are being kept alive with tiny battery-operated pacemakers. None of these repairs could have been made without the heart-lung machine, but valuable as it is to the surgeons, the heart-lung machine has certain limitations. It can be used only for a few hours at a time because its pumping gradually damages the blood cells. Now you will read the passage once again over, and then you will underline those points which you have missed out in first reading. Students, this is an ideal structure for note making. First of all, you have to write title, which should not be in one word. It should have a phrase or a line, okay? Then you will, after reading the passage, you will decide what are the main points and what are sub points, then sub points. This sub points hardly comes in use because within first and second point we wind up on the important, we jot down all the important points, okay? So here in first main point and sub point, the space that you can see out here is very important. These are called indentations or indentions, okay? And this space shows whether the points are very important or these are a bit less important, okay? See out here, it is just close to the margin. Number 1, number 2, number 3 and number 4. These are main points, extremely important points, okay? And second point, sub points, which are almost 1 inch away from the margin, okay? These are a little less important points, okay? And in some cases we require sub points as well, and here you find a distance of 2 inches. All right, so this indentations or indentions shows, this spacing shows their importance. Clear? Now after reading you will understand that what are the important points. Okay, don't worry, we will practice. All right, then after making this structure, and if you wish you can make this structure, okay, prior to the examination only. If not, you can read it and later on also you can do it, because in some cases we require, every time we don't require this structure, okay? Okay, sometimes it goes like this also: 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay, so based on the topic, based on the passage, we need to change our indentations as well. I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, then abbreviations and symbols. After writing these points, okay, you have to make a box, proper box, and at the top you will write abbreviations and symbols. Here 6 points you are allowed to write 6 abbreviated words and their meanings in the right hand side. Okay, let's move to the structure of the question now. After reading the passage, I have decided this could be the title. See students, this title is my, in a way, it's my decision to take this as title. Okay, but in your case you might write something else, but if it is related with the passage, you will be given entire 1 marks. Don't worry about that. Don't think that your title is different from mine. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule in note making. It can never be identical, remember that. Same goes with points as well. The points, the way I have made it, the way I have shortened it, it's not necessary that you will also shorten in the same way, but the basic structure should be same. Clear? Let me show you point number 1. In the passage I found this as very crucial part, so I'm writing out here function of heart, because entire passage talks about this. Okay, now it is vital for living. The thing which we have underlined, we have molded it like this. Okay, never stop working. Our heart never stops working. It is understood, and some are grammatically incorrect, some are not full sentence, but still we will be given marks because it is extracting important points only. Clear? Point number 3, supplies oxygen rich blood to different parts. Here the word which I have abbreviated, I have underlined, and this is what even you need to do. Clear? Then we will move to, and here points and sub points. Sub points are not required, so I have not mentioned. Okay, point number 2, structure of the heart, connected by valves. Point number 2, blood purified lungs. Arteries carry pure blood to different parts. Point number 3, here also I don't find any necessity to write sub points, so I skipped that. Point number 3, heart disease because it is weak. Okay, weak heart muscles, defective valves, defective pacemaker. Point number 4, history. It is underlined because it is abbreviated. History, open heart surgery. 1953, Dr. Gibbon invented heart-lung machine. Blood could pass through machine. Enabled open heart surgery. Plastic valves replace defective heart valves. These are the points which I find in second last paragraph, and here also sub points are not required. Okay, but you might require it. Okay, if you feel that you can need to mention few more things about here point number 1, then you can do it. Okay, there are different ways to do it, but the main fundamental essential points should not be skipped. All right, you cannot skip this point, history of open heart surgery, because this is the key point in the passage. Okay, limitations. Point number 1, used only for few hours, pumping damages blood cells. So these are the 5 points which I have found important from the passage. Okay, you might have found only 4, that is also okay, because it is a 4 marks, so 4 points will also do. I have done 1 extra, but you can skip this point number 5 as well. You can wind up your note making in point number 1, 2, 3, 4 itself with abbreviations. I hope it is clear. And the students, make sure that when you are making the points, here it should be right below the first one, and the third one should be right below second one. Okay, and this same lining should be maintained here as well. If you see, if you draw a line, there will be a straight line out here. Okay, and if you draw out here, there will be a straight line. So this should be maintained by you all as well. I hope it is clear to you all. Let me talk about abbreviations. Students, abbreviations and symbols should be your heading, and it should be written within the box. Here you will write the words which you have abbreviated, and here the main word. Okay, so we had abbreviated point number 1, working, different, history, doctor, invented, and machine. And minor abbreviations you can skip, like and, okay, and then that is, etc. Those are insignificant, so we can exclude those, but these are the main which you have to write. Okay, so this is regarding abbreviations and symbols. I will show you another example as well.
For for example, for showing you all, I have taken Ranga's marriage, and you know that how lengthy the chapter is, but I have concised entire chapter in 6 points. Okay, so how I have done it, I'll show it to you. Let's have a look at this example which I have taken from class 11th syllabus. First of all, see, you have to focus on numbering. I have given number 1, number 2. The points which are in red color, these are points, and those which are in green color, those are sub points. Okay, and remember, when you are writing sub points, the first letter should not be capital because it is part of the sentence. It is not a full sentence. Understood? If you write in capital letters in green colored section, then you are going to lose marks. Another important thing is that you should not mix up all the numberings. Like I have given number 1 A B C, number 2 A, and other points are also there. Okay, but here I cannot write 2 Roman letter 1. It is because in the first section I have already given A B C. Okay, so that you have to remember. The numbering pattern that you have followed for number 1, you have to follow the same throughout the noting. Next very important point is indentations. See the space which I have given while writing A B points, sub points. Okay, from margin this is almost 1 inch away. Okay, and sub points, that is good singer, good at veena, harmonium. These are sub points, and for this I have given 2 inches indentations. Okay, so this you have to remember when you are making notes. These are very important because it shows their importance. After that, I'll show you how to make abbreviations. General abbreviations are already there, like education, organization. Okay, science, SC for science. But if you find a new word and you have to abbreviate that, what you will do? See, first you'll take first 2 letters of the word and the last 2 letters, and in between you will put an apostrophe mark. Okay, that will abbreviate your word, and the same word you'll write in abbreviation section as well. And make sure that you'll underline all the abbreviations that you have used in the passage, sorry, in the noting. Okay, so these are the abbreviations that I have used in this note making of Ranga's marriage. You can see how I have abbreviated the word, and you can use them too. This completes our noting section, and now we have to move towards summary writing. Okay, it's very easy. For summary writing, you just have to make a paragraph of the points that you have extracted from the passage. I beg your pardon, students, I totally forgot to explain number 8, which is extremely important. See, number 8 talks about abbreviating proper noun. In note making, you should never abbreviate proper noun. Proper noun is name of a place, thing, animal. Okay, so here Alexander, this is name of a person. The same goes with place as well. Hosahali is a place, and you cannot abbreviate it. Remember to use only 4 to 6 abbreviate. You have to go through this passage, and you have to make a note of it,